Right now at 5, breaking news out of Refugio Beach. An oil spill washing along the shore. We're live at Refugio Beach with the latest on this mess. Then students are helping those in need. How Cal Poly students are building a home for people with disabilities. And the Santa Maria School District goes high-tech.
It's just a new way of learning better. We don't have to always use books.
How will handing out tablets to students help the learning process? KCOY 12 Central Coast News at 5 starts now.
Breaking news out of the Refugio State Beach area, an oil spill stretching 4 miles wide.
A cleanup is underway right now. Officials say the source of the spill is secure. We're going to take a live picture along the beach. You get a real sense of the size of this spill. The Coast Guard says it stretches about 4 miles wide. John Palmentary is live on the scene, and he has this report for us. John.
The first thing we can tell you is that the oil spill has been stopped at the pipeline source, we are told. Oil did get in the water. We're just south of Refugio State Beach along Highway 101 this evening, and the spill is just north of Refugio State Beach, and it is in the water, and it is on the shore. This all started about noon today. Residents in the area, ranchers as a matter of fact, and drivers on Highway 101 could smell something in the air. They knew that there was a problem. They just didn't know exactly where it was, but they also knew it was getting worse. The waves were black west of Refugio State Beach from an oil pipeline break nearby.
The beach was just covered in thick black crude. The rocks were covered. The waves that were coming in were just black oil.
At first, no one knew where a powerful petroleum smell was coming from, but ranchers nearby could tell something was wrong and started calling 911 about noon. A county fire crew walked the area and found the source at about a half-mile stretch of oil already in the nearshore waters.
They were the ones that actually discovered the thick oil spill in the ocean. And the source of the leak turned out to be on the north side of the freeway. It was a broken pipeline, and so they were able to direct people into that area and ultimately get that pipeline shut down in a much faster way. They probably, by doing that, they saved miles of coastline.
And Captain Zanaboni also says when this type of incident occurs, they are well trained to call out the Office of Emergency Services, the Coast Guard, and the Clean Seas cleanup vessel. And you can see offshore, we do have some vessels there, at least one that I can see off in the distance, and that has some boom where they can surround any spill. But what's happening here is this ocean is very choppy, so the spill that's out there is actually getting broken up by the waves there. And that's actually good news. I know it's hard to believe that's good, but it does break it up and disperse it. Some of it did, as you see, get onto the shoreline. The other piece of information we have is there's no sign of any marine life right now that has been harmed that we can see physically on the beach by the spill, and no birds have been oiled at this time that we can see on the beach. That doesn't mean they might not show up later, but for now, we don't see any clear indication of that along the beach line. So we have the Coast Guard overhead with choppers and on the ground. We have the Clean Seas vessel, we have County Fire, we have the emergency response team. What we still need to hear from is the pipeline company, and it's believed by the fire department to be a pipeline owned by Plains All-American Pipeline. Exxon came over and took a look and said it wasn't their pipeline, but they offered resources as well to help out if necessary, and they're in this area as well. So we believe it's a Plains All-American Pipeline. We're trying to get firm confirmation of that and hear from that company about what they're going to do, and then go from there. The state park has about 100 campers in it. We're heading into Memorial Day weekend. That, of course, is a concern as well. That's the very latest from the scene along Refugio State Beach and Highway 101 this evening. I'm John Palmentary.
All right, John, let's take another look at the size of that spill. You can see overhead from these aerial live shots of the coastline there at Refugio Beach. It tends to be hugging the coastline right now. You can see parts of the sand of the beach stretching all the way to the campground, those iconic palm trees from the campground there at Refugio. You can see that black sand now, goo covering the black sand, where a lot of people love to sun and stroll along and look for treasures along the coast there. As John pointed out, though, this cleanup effort is already underway and perhaps aided by the rough, choppy seas out there breaking up the oil.
Cleanup crews will certainly have their work cut out for them out there in the open waters. You can see the oil washing up on the shore right now. The source of the spill, we're told, has been secured, but again, much work to do out in the open ocean still. Plenty of crews on the scene. Fish and Wildlife is out there, Office of Emergency Management, and
there you can see a whale blowing. Yeah. So again, no reports of wildlife, Scott, but you know, it remains, the story has to be told yet of the wildlife that's under the sea there that is being affected by this spill. The whales are migrating right now, passing through the area. As you can see, the whale coming up and blowing through his spout there. So as the events unfold, we'll remain live on the scene throughout the evening as cleanup efforts continue. And this
Yeah, and again, this started, was first reported just after noon. It was really the smell that alerted people to this. It started on the other side of Highway 101, but now the work for the cleanup is out there in the water.
We should mention that some viewers reported that they had actually self-evacuated. They smelled strong, and they said they wanted to get out of the area right now. We are on the line with County Health to see if there are any air quality control health impacts from this spill.
There's no mandatory evacuations at this time, but the people who are camping there at Refugio State Beach are certainly affected by it. They can smell it, and they're not able to go into the water there. We're told there's about 100 people camping at Refugio State Beach, and that is really right where this spill is.
All right, going to move on to our other top story tonight. A high school football player and his family are taking a San Luis Obispo high school to court, alleging dangerous contact at a practice almost 2 years ago left the player with a concussion and a brainstem stroke. The civil suit filed last Friday accuses the football coaches at Mission Prep for encouraging what's called helmet-to-helmet contact. This is an activity which is illegal at California high schools. The suit also accuses the football player who allegedly caused the injury of cyberbullying the injured player with a series of texts. KCOY 12's Corey James sat down with the plaintiff's attorney, and he'll have a full report tonight on KCOY 12 News at 6.
We now know the name of the man who was shot and killed in Santa Maria over the weekend. The victim's name is Modesto Melendez from Guadalupe. Authorities found his body in a car on the 400 block of West William Street in Santa Maria. Investigators are calling the crime a murder. Anyone with information should contact Santa Maria Police.
To Texas now, where investigators are on guard for more violence after a fatal biker shooting in Waco. Officers say they've received credible and reliable threats to law enforcement. This comes after that Sunday shootout between biker gangs that left 9 people dead and 18 others injured. Police say several gangs showed up to the restaurant Sunday for what they call a coalition of biker groups, but one club that wasn't invited showed up. And you're looking at mugshots that were just released today of those who are in custody. The fighting all started. 170 people, though, were actually arrested, and their bail has been set at $1 million apiece.
Teachers in the Santa Maria Joint Union School District approved a tentative contract last night. Under this tentative agreement, teachers will get a 6% wage increase that'll start this July. The contract also clarifies hours of employment for the more than 300 teachers and administrators. This agreement still needs to be approved by the union and Board of Education.
Well, today, 3 Santa Maria Valley high schools went high-tech. It's part of an effort by the school district to provide greater access and opportunity. KCOY 12's Dave Alley has more.
Okay, there you go. Students were all smiles Tuesday at Pioneer Valley High School.
We're pretty excited because today we're getting our tablets, also our keyboards. It's kind of like a new era.
They lined up by the hundreds, all waiting for their turn to check out a brand new Dell Venue Pro tablet.
It's just a new way of learning better. We don't have to always use books, and now it's a newer way to use technology.
The tablets were also distributed at Santa Maria and Rigetti High Schools. Overall, the district purchased 5,400 of them, costing $2.2 million.
This is new state funding. They call it LCAP, and it's an opportunity for our district to really give technology to the kids.
The tablets will be each student's responsibility.
Thank you.
Personalization will be encouraged to promote a sense of ownership, something unfamiliar to many students.
Now you actually do have a computer anywhere. You can do it at lunch, break.
These settings should already be ready.
Inside the classroom, the technology will be used in a variety of applications.
This is going to be a very useful tool. It's newer, it's technology, and more teens are used to using technology.
To ensure students are using the tablets properly and to avoid anything inappropriate, the district has put several safeguards in place and also created a digital citizenship program.
What we've tried to do is really inundate the kids with information, provide the parents with information, letting them know that our tablets have the absolute CompuTrace software on it, which means it's traceable.
With tablets in hand, these students are now equipped and ready for a high-tech future.
And today, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen were given their tablets, which they'll take home for the summer. Incoming freshmen will receive theirs in the fall. In the future, when seniors graduate, they'll have the option of purchasing their tablet at a reduced price to giving it back to the school.
An annual spring project for Cal Poly graduate students could bring hope and comfort to one family in need. KCOY 12's Natalie Tavidian is live in Atascadero, where students are renovating a home.
Scott, so it's called Poly House, and the students, the client this year is 21-year-old Jocelyn. She cannot walk on her own, so her mom has to carry her up and down those stairs you see behind me. They're pretty narrow, and it's a lot of work for her. So the students are, she tells me that these students are making a big difference. They're in there working right now.
Tricycle that she can't control or pedal herself, but if you can steer it from behind.
Jocelyn has a tricycle, wheelchairs, and tools to help her stand.
She's completely dependent on me or whoever has her.
Her mom, Jennifer Dyer, says 21-year-old Jocelyn loves being around people. She loves her animals and feels just like her brother when riding the tricycle.
She loves the music. She listens to a lot of music.
And she's happy and giggling almost all the time with a lot of optimism.
Everybody that meets her absolutely falls in love with her.
Jocelyn has Rett syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that usually affects females, and it affects all areas of her life. So when she leaves school and comes home, her mom has a lot of demands.
There's 14 stairs that go straight up.
These are the steps Jennifer carries her daughter up and down every day by herself. So when she heard about Poly House, a Cal Poly project where students improve the home of a family in need, she reached out.
Showering was almost impossible. It was very difficult trying to get her in and out.
She packed up and left her house in the hands of Cal Poly students and can't wait to see the final product.
Got the phone call and really excited.
So we cannot give too much away because the students want the Dyers to be surprised, but they have 2 weekends to finish up this huge project, and they've been in the planning stages for about 6 weeks, and now is when all the hands-on stuff begins. So we'll have some more information about the project and show you a little bit more inside the house coming up tonight at 6. Live in Atascadero, Natalie Tavidian, Coast News.
That'll be a wonderful thing to make life easier for that family. Thank you very much, Natalie.
Big news for the Patriots, why the owner won't appeal the NFL's $1 million fine in the Deflategate scandal.
And airbag maker Takata has been recalling cars for months, but today a record number of cars are being called in, claiming they're unsafe. We'll have details on that just ahead. You're watching KCOY 12 Central Coast News at 5.
Live, Scott Hennessy, Paula Lopez, and meteorologist Jason Stiff. KCOY 12 Central Coast Local News, live at 5.
New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft will not appeal the punishment by the NFL over the now infamous Deflategate. The NFL fined the Patriots $1 million, and the team lost 2 draft choices. The Patriots will lose a first-round draft pick next year and a fourth-rounder in 2017. Kraft says he put the league ahead of his own franchise when he made the decision not to appeal. Kraft's decision to not fight the punishment does not affect Tom Brady's appeal. The star quarterback has been suspended for the first 4 games of this upcoming season.
It's the largest airbag recall ever in the United States. Airbag maker Takata has agreed to recall nearly 34 million calls because of defective airbag. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration made the announcement today. This recall comes after the federal agency and Takata battled over the size of the recalls and the cause of the problems. Many of Takata's airbags can explode with too much force and send metal pieces into the driver's face. So far, Honda and Toyota have recalled more than 17 million cars in the U.S. It's still unclear which car maker will be most affected with the new recall.
A house fire in Ventura leaves one family without a home tonight, and now fire crews are investigating.
You won't believe what investigators say caused this fire. It might even be something you have plugged in right now. We're live with a full report coming up. A battery charger is being blamed for a house fire in Ventura. KCOY 12 reporter Kelsey Gerkins joins us live from Ventura with details. And Kelsey, what kind of battery charger caused this much damage?
Paula, investigators say that the son of this house was charging his airsoft gun battery to an electric charger when, for some reason, it started on fire. Now, why it ignited is currently under investigation, but it completely destroyed the inside of this home. From the outside, it appears this home in the 6,000 block of Loma Vista Road is in perfect condition. But inside, it's a different story.
The fire was stopped at the room of origin. However, the entire structure was damaged from the smoke.
The family of 5 wasn't home when the fire broke out Sunday night.
Actually, the residents were the first ones to come upon it and were surprised when they opened the front door to find smoke inside their home.
Investigators say the fire started in the back of the house in the son's bedroom.
So the resident stated that his son charges batteries for his toy airsoft guns and things of that nature. And from the appearance and the investigation, it appeared that that was the cause of the fire.
So the question is, can battery chargers be left unattended? Battalion Chief Tony Hill says it depends.
I think the common items such as computers and cell phones and things of that nature are okay. However, the higher powered batteries and lithium-ion batteries that go in remote control cars, airsoft guns in this case, charge at a higher rate and therefore create a lot higher temperatures, and I think that appeared to be the source of the fire in this case.
Lithium-ion battery fires are not rare. A simple search on YouTube shows what happens when these batteries are mishandled or overcharged. The best tips for preventing a fire from a lithium-ion battery is to make sure that you don't overcharge it. Also make sure that you have the right connections there and never hit it up against something. Reporting live in Ventura, KCOY 12 Central Coast News.
Let's go to the First Alert Weather Center. Jason standing by with their forecast.
We started the day with a lot of gray, but a lot of places did see some afternoon sunshine. The temperatures responded. We had 70s, a few upper 60s also. It was 76 in Paso Robles, 74 in Santa Barbara, 70 in San Luis Obispo, and reached 68 degrees for a high today in Santa Maria. Just shy of our average for this time of year with all the clouds, though. The overnight low only fell to 53. And as you look outside, the clouds are streaming over the Santa Maria Valley yet again. We're going to have more clouds tonight and tomorrow morning as well. Currently 63 after that 68-degree high. The wind still awfully breezy, but not quite as gusty as yesterday, sustained at 24 miles an hour. But we do have some 70s out there. 74 degrees in Paso Robles right now, 70 in Cuyama, and 71 in Santa Barbara. Still stuck in the 50s in Morro Bay at 58 degrees, and it's 63 degrees in Lompoc. All the wind generally breezy between 15 and 25 miles an hour. That will be subsiding tonight, and we will have the increasing clouds, but not this many clouds. Look what's going on in Oklahoma. Another powerful line of rain and thunderstorms. Unfortunately, some flash flood warnings in parts of Oklahoma and North Texas, even some tornado watches and tornado warnings. The tornado warnings just the northeast and southeast of Wichita Falls, Texas. Then we zoom out of there. You can see this is all due to this area of low pressure over Colorado, bringing many areas of rain and thunderstorms all the way into South Dakota and Nebraska. We still have the rain showers close to California, but they're all mainly to our north and east over Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, and Utah, a little bit over northern California. But this next area of low pressure will increase our cloud cover over the next 48 to 72 hours and decrease our temperatures ever so much, still staying below average. It's going to push more of the marine layer onshore, so expect gradually increasing clouds tonight, and we can't even rule out a little bit of patchy drizzle late tonight through tomorrow morning, mainly along the central coast, and then a chance for it tomorrow afternoon in southeastern Santa Barbara County and Ventura County, and then we'll have a better chance for other areas, especially the central coast, to have some patchy drizzle Thursday and Friday before this next area of low pressure begins to leave the central coast. Your marine forecast, gusty wind up to 25 knots. The seas swell up to 4 to 5 feet. And here is your forecast. Expect increasing clouds tonight. tonight. We'll have a lot of clouds tomorrow, some sun breaks, but not a lot of them. A lot of stubborn clouds for us. A low of 52 and a high of 67 in Santa Maria. Heading further north, we expect temperatures in the 40s and lower 50s tomorrow morning, with most highs in the 60s and lower 70s, but still stuck in the 50s around Cambria and Morro Bay. And for the south coast, expecting increasing clouds. Can't rule out some patchy drizzle tomorrow or Thursday, and highs will be below average in the mid to upper 60s. Next 7 days in Santa Maria, we do expect more clouds through your work week, and then fewer clouds is coming up this upcoming Memorial Day weekend. A lot more sunshine with highs in Santa Maria in the lower 70s. For San Luis Obispo, same situation. A lot of clouds tomorrow through Friday. Fewer clouds for the upcoming holiday weekend, and then gradually increasing clouds in a week. The highs will climb from the 60s into the 70s. Paso Robles dropping down to the 60s briefly on Thursday, then rising into the 80s Sunday and Monday. And for the 5 cities, mainly 60s, but a little bit better chance for some patchy drizzle Thursday and Friday with highs near 60.
San Luis Obispo mental health programs might soon get an overhaul. Details ahead on the grand jury suggestions that would help patients get the care they need.
And the federal government is cracking down on certain cancer charities. Find out why investigators say certain groups swindle donors out of their money. This is KCOY 12 Central Coast News at 5. A San Luis Obispo grand jury is recommending the county make major changes to better help those suffering from mental illnesses. A recent grand jury investigation reveals that patients typically had to wait 45 days before a patient met a professional and up to 60 days before being diagnosed. The grand jury suggested the city establish a crisis stabilization unit to bridge the gap. It also recommends changes in the process of hiring managers and employees to decrease these types of delays.
The Federal Trade Commission is going after 4 cancer charities for alleged fraud. The charities include the Cancer Fund of America, the Breast Cancer Society, the Children's Cancer Fund, and Cancer Support Services. The FTC, along with law enforcement partners from all 50 states, say the charities and their operators bilked more than $187 million from donors. They're accused of using donations to cover lavish personal spending, including vacation trips, vehicles, college tuition, luxury cruises, and even concert tickets.
We'll be right back. We'll continue to follow the oil spill at Refugio State Beach for you. More news coming up in 30 minutes.
We'll see you then.